Well, let's see here. Almost back. Let's see. There we are. All right, so we're kind of back. I have no idea what exactly died. Nothing told me what was. Restream said it wasn't able to connect. So I don't know if that was OBS or Restream or what happened. But yeah, so we just got through the lore. We were just kind of flipping through the random lore. But it was nice to see that they did that. And they do, at the very end, let me just show you a nice thing that everybody should do. So once the lore was done, they have quick references, so you can have these. And I'm sure there's like a PDF of these as well that you can print out. But really nice reference sheets to sequences, the phases of a turn, and references to elevation and how to shoot at stuff, as well as the default tactical orders that everybody gets. So that was Epic Warpath, and I guess I'll download this stream and sew these two pieces together to make it a whole thing. So this book is available. I think it's in full order as we speak. I don't think it's even pre-order. Let me double check. But that was everything that was included in the, yeah, let's see here. It's not saying pre-order. Yeah, so everything is available, the rule book and tokens. So the rule book comes with the tokens, which is nice. Yeah, everything is, it's not saying pre-order. Oh no, the book is on back order. Wait a minute. The book is on back order. How about the starting bundle? Everything is on back order. Okay, so I guess it's not fully released yet. The page is there, but it looks like all of this stuff is saying it's on back order currently. But it's coming. And there's a link in the description. Yeah, so this is everything that will basically come in your starter set plus 2 factions. So let's take a look at what one of these core army packs looks like. So we kind of went through the rules, and not retail boxing. This is just their generic boxing. Oh, but the nice thing is, so it's not just a box with junk that's just going to fall out of it. It's actually got a another interior box inside. So this makes it nice for building. If I can get it out of here. Live stream. There we go. So this is the Plague Core Army starter box. So you've got all of these, I think 30 mil bases, and an interesting feature to these, because some things are for your basic units of 4, but on the other side is a command. There's a command side. So you've got the standard size. So most units are going to be for infantry and heavies and specialists and stuff like before. But on the other side, so you don't have to do different, is 2. So a lot of command units and smaller specialists or leader units only have 2 miniatures. So the bases have that option for both. So you get all the bases for everything in there. And so what are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there should be one more. Oh, that's 6, yeah. So basically, your core army set is 6 identical sprues. So it's going to let you, of course, your basic troops are going to have probably the most on here. So you make those, from this, you'll have the most of the basic troops. But then it's also got your command units, your leaders, and as well as all of your vehicles and everything. So the instructions for what goes where, what units are what, are actually online. So Mantic has instructions kind of page that shows for all of their armies. So they don't include anything in the book, so there's no paper in here at all to tell you how to put stuff together. But this is going to give you 6 times whatever is on here. So maybe for just the command, just your leaders, you'll only be able to make 6 of those. But for everything else, you'll be able to make, whatever number. So these are, your zombies and all of your horrible variations. Let's take a look. So they're, let's try to, will they actually focus? They're so tiny. So you've got 6 identical sprues, similar to what a lot of the other game companies do when they do the multi-part kits. You'll have 6 identical sprues, but you've got all kinds of options. This you don't have options, but you've got the most common units, the one you're going to need the most of, are the most on the sprue. And these are all really nice hard plastic. They come out really well. And that 10 millimeter difference, you can see, if the camera is going to let me, there's actually something to paint. There's actually details to paint on here. You're actually going to be dry brushing and putting some dots on visors and things, because that extra 4 millimeters gives you just enough detail. And I think that's why they kind of went for that, because they don't have to go any bigger on the base themselves. Once they said round bases, yeah, let's make it a little bit bigger. The detail's a bit nicer. You're not just kind of blobbing and washing things and putting little dots on where a gun may be. And if you look on the examples, either in the rulebook or on the website, you can see that there is something to paint there. So it helped a little bit more for what they were doing, and it also made the super heavies and the gigantic, like the kind of Titan miniatures, be a little bit more significant. It's a little bit more fun for what they're doing. So here's every level of their zombies and leapers and different. A lot of the units are just spelled out by the amount of mutation that they've suffered. And the Plague have, of course, like reclaimed weapons or things that they've kind of taken over from other factions. So in a kind of an orky way, but that's fun because then you can crud them up. And I couldn't resist getting the Plague faction as well, because it fits my messy, ugly painting style well, just like Nurgle does, just like Death Guard. So yeah, so you get 6 of these hard plastic sprues in here, along with all the bases you need. So not only do you get the bases that are troop or command, but you also get bases for anything that's a single unit. So some of these larger, and I think no matter how many, because this is their standard sprue of these, and I think maybe you only get like 6 6 or so of these, so you won't be using all of these bases. But let's see, who would that be? Is there anybody in here? Oh yeah, this guy. So the reclaimed kind of walker unit looks like it gets one of these bases. And if you look, there's only one of these. So yeah, you're only going to be using 6 of these. You'll have 4 extra bases. And some of them you can use, flipped over if you want to put your vehicles on bases as well. Here's your option. Chris told me that there was, because the Asterians have some flyers and some bigger, in their core army, they have some bigger vehicles, said that there were actually MDF bases included in the Asterian set. So they want to give you bases for everything. But yeah, so here's what Plague looks like. And so yeah, it's no frills, no instructions, no assembly instructions or anything. 6 identical units with all the bases that you're going to need. But the thing is, this is enough. Let's see. So I put together, so here's where I am so far with my dwarves. So the Forge Fathers, so far, this is 1,000 points. So this is what 1,000 points looks like from this core box. And I still have, I think you can probably do close to 2,000 points. I still have, depending on, how they're equipped and everything, I probably could do twice as many in the, from the, just the core set. So this doesn't include any of the super heavies or any of the big stuff. And I went with a Iron Ancestor for the leader unit, so I don't even have any of the bases with the 2 figures on there. But that is what 1,000 points looks like, which is going to be kind of our starting game. And so you can build about twice as much of that. And I think that that will work out with a number of units and specialists and support. Right out of the box. So you're getting basically 2,000 points, not of a lot of versatility, but what's in the basic set. And then of course you can, piecemeal kind of add things and you know, based on how you want to play and how big the game is going to be. So yeah, it's a pretty good start. And if you're looking at the prices of things, one of these, you're not from the crowdfunding, of course, it's back on British pounds. One of these just basic starters. Come on, the core army. It's not going to give me. It's not going to give me dollars. Give me Yankee dollar. All right. Well, I think it's £80. So it's 110. Yeah. So 110 on the website, and I think you were getting it closer to 70. I think it was like closer to $70, $75 through the crowdfunding. So that's why I added the additional faction for the starter. And these I don't think are ever going to be, I mean, who knows, but I don't think these are ever going to be digital. So you'll always have to buy the base army to get your troops. And so STLs will probably be available for the more advanced units. So any faction that you'd be interested in getting this for 110, that's not bad. It's comparable. I guess it's pretty comparable to the smaller, you know, spearheads and whatever they're calling them now for 40K to get into the game. But there is the two-player starter set, which is listed. It's not listed yet. It's not listed yet on the. Oh, here we go. Is 160. So if you're interested in Enforcer or Plague, so splitting that, you're at 80 plus a rule book and all the tokens and dice and everything. So yeah, you can definitely. Oh yeah, so next month. Sorry, things are kind of listed. They've got release dates on them. So it looks like actually early next year for the core armies. Releases for stuff that was unlocked on the Kickstarter. Sorry, there's spaces for them, but they're coming soon. So it is kind of pre-order, even though they don't let you place the orders yet. They give you release dates. So if you check out the Mantic website, which I put a link to, you can see when this stuff is coming out. Yeah, so 110. It's a little pricey, but it's good quality plastic. It's not, you know, it's not typical Mantic, like almost board game stuff. Some of the earlier days, yeah, Mantic didn't do great plastic, but this is comparable to anything. I mean, I would, you know, comparing this sprue to the sprue of the Epic thing that Games Workshop is doing now, I'm sure they're very close in the quality of the plastic and the number of units you get on a sprue and everything. But yeah, so Epic Warpath. So coming soon. So yeah, check out Hive Mind's social media if you want to see some space elves painted. And I went with got magnets on everything, but I went with kind of a real traditional color scheme for these guys. But I want to do something more. I saw some people do really great stuff. You know, you've got this like gap in here. Really great stuff with some terrain details and stuff. People had like buried oil drums and stuff. So I want to play around with what else you can like get on these bases, because they are kind of scenic bases. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of room between the individual models themselves. But these are just the basic troops. But yeah, so that's the kind of the color scheme. It's a little lighter than I thought, so maybe I'll wash to get it a little greener. But I liked the contrast, the orange contrast, and the kind of cruddy red earth that they're running on. So that's what the Forge Fathers will look like on this end. And the transports, they have basically a slot here where the turrets go for either the flame turret or the magma turret. But I found these little adhesive domes that I thought made them look extra stupid sci-fi. So I'll do some tinting on that. But I thought that was a fun way to turn make the transport look like it just wasn't missing a turret. Yeah, so something a little fun. And then the Iron Ancestor. So these are the single units on the base. And so you can run one of these. I don't have the actual model, but I can run one of these as my leader. So they don't have as big of a zone of control, but they're very tough. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so elves versus dwarves coming soon to the channel. And I'll have to figure out if I can get away. I think I could. Let's see. We can actually just tactically try it right now. If the setup that I have now will get me close enough. Maybe I can just, yeah, maybe I can just paint on stream. I'll have to fix the focus, right? I'll have to shut down the autofocus. But yeah, I think I could actually paint on stream. I'm not doing, you know, much with these guys. It's pretty simple. So it'd be a fun paint and chat kind of low-key stream. So yeah, look for that in the next couple of days. Maybe I'll jump on and finish these guys up, because they're all primed. I got 1,000 points primed. I just want to get some color on them. And yeah, I think especially for the vehicles, I think darkening them up a little bit. I'll play with the, I've got like a military drab, like an olive drab wash that may tone down this khaki. I don't want them to look like Desert Storm. A little khaki-er. But yeah, so here's the, so I just did an adhesive magnet, which I just noticed I was really getting spoiled. The rare earth magnets are disappearing from the kind of the dollar stores in Japan. So I wonder if there's a trade thing going on with China. But and these guys, I haven't figured out how I'm going to attach the turrets yet. And right now it's just blue tack. I don't know if I'm going to just do a pin or a magnet, because that's what I was looking for the rare earth magnets for. It's because I got some pretty tiny ones here that I could just seat in there. So yeah, here's what I was talking about. Here's the blue tack. So yeah, that's just supposed to be the transport, which I thought was pretty ugly and boring. And then the turrets, you know, seat in there. So that's why I put the little dome on there. It looked kind of funny. But yeah, it's basically, so on the sprue, the only thing to change between the different units are the turret or no turret. And these are the veterans with their heavy rocket launchers, which you're just going to have a little bit of differentiation maybe in the weapons themselves. And I don't know, I think the visors have got a little bit more green on their visor and stuff, so that'll change. But yeah, should be fun. I guess that works. Yeah, it's looking pretty sharp on stream. If I can turn off the autofocus, we may be able to get away with this. So here you can take a look now at even a closer, yeah, even closer look at the sprue. So this is the plague sprue. So there's your commander, your leader token, and the bits of the vehicles. Yeah, so I think they've got a tank and a transport that they've stolen, as well as a walker. But yeah, nice detail. 10 millimeters, just a little bit more. So there's a little bit more to mess with. And it's great. I mean, I've, in the past, gotten a hold of some pretty lousy, like my, what was it? The Forge Star, the Battle for the Forge Star. The first 2-player Mantic set I ever bought was... It's, yeah, the plastic is okay, but there's also some real shoddy, like, other stuff in there. The stuff that's on sprues was okay, but they do some pretty board gamey plastic. But yeah, so we'll get to painting these up, at least get some color on them so they look better on the table. And I've got a nice 4x6 mat that we can play on, so we shall do that. So yeah, let me know in the chat if I'm actually still live. I have no idea if this is even working, but let me know in the chat if you guys would be interested in some painting streams, just hanging out. I definitely have to start them earlier, but painting streams. All right, so let me go through. So yeah, so Chris and I just kind of went in on it. I when I was picking the factions, I just said to Chris, yeah, which which one do you want? What would you play? If I was to trick you into playing Warpath, because we played the playtest before, and the Space Elves were what Chris went for. All right. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I was talking about this. This getting its release on the weekly. Yeah, sorry about the break. So I'll download this and like stitch it together and re-upload it. But good. Yeah. Yeah, Chris is done. So 10 millimeter is yeah, seems gigantic compared to what Chris has been doing for historical. I think 2 millimeters, so just like little nubs, just little tiny nubs on on a rectangular base is what a lot of the Roman stuff and all that. Yeah, grains of rice. But yeah, so so look for some painting hangout, painting streams. I'll get that started a little earlier than today, but that should be fun. And yeah, and look for this many minis on a battlefield near you. So we'll just kind of play a couple of little test runs to learn the rules, and then we'll try out some of this. So at least it's not. I think this is the gluable terrain, which is nice because I think Mantic specialized in pinning or clipping. Like they had a bunch of this kind of stuff for like Deadzone and stuff, but you like clip it together. So it's nice that they got away from that. I think, yeah, who knows? That was an experiment. But yeah, we'll see what all this stuff looks like. We'll give this a coat and a wash and see what the battlefield looks like. But yeah, I guess this camera will work for painting. So yeah, we'll give that a shot. It definitely gets the detail down, and I've got a big softbox light, so that's enough light for you to see what's going on. So cool. Well, yeah, thanks for watching. And I wanted to, yeah, I'm kind of backed up on unboxing stuff, so I'll get some more stuff going here before too long. I got the Gundam Assemble stuff came out, so you can see the miniatures for that. Yeah, just a couple of the games and books to go over. But if you like what we're doing, take a look at upturntable.com and Upturntable on all social media. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified when stuff like this goes live, and then it gets broken and then it goes live again. We're good at doing that. And yeah, tune into the weekly every Thursday night Pacific time, US. We go live with a kind of discussion of gaming news and stuff. And we'll be painting and playing. We've got to figure out a way to do a little bit better than the scuffed battle reports we did in the past. But we'll improve. This may help give us a reason to improve our camera and mic setup for doing. And actually, yeah, I think it might work. If we clip the table, if we clip the mics to the table and have an arm that can follow us, I think that might work. So thanks for watching. And to all the members and patrons, thank you so much for all of your support. There's a join button below the video, as well as patreon.com/upturntable, where you can get access to everything we post for members and patrons, as well as the RSS feed. So thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.
「